Hello there, and today we're reacting to even more of More
I don't
Paths.
think you understand just how old sharks are.
We got a boomer.
See, I'm not just talking individual sharks.
Isn't there like a Greenland shark that's like 500 years old as well?
Hammerheads, Bruce from Nemo, Jeff. Your average shark lives anywhere between 20 to 80 years. Nothing all that special.
Damn.
I'm talking sharks as a species. Because as a concept,
Haven't they been around since like basically the beginning, like crocodiles?
sharks are fucking one-tricks. They have mained this class through every single balance adjustment Earth has thrown at them. From climate change to the Ice Age to that time God decided to punt a rock at Barney the dinosaur. Yeah, when it comes to prehistoric shark species, most people think of the megalodon.
Yeah.
Big boy the size of a kaiju that was swimming around in the ocean around 26 million years ago. Which might sound like a long time, but as far as sharks go, this thing's a fucking zoomer.
What scares me the most, you can tell I'm British because I don't swim in the open sea that much. What scares me the most is like we haven't even seen the bottom of the ocean, and the deeper you go in the ocean, the more hideous the animals become. I dread to think what's at the bottom of this
Go
ocean.
back around 250 million years to the early Triassic, before the literal dinosaurs, and you'll find Helicorpion, a shark with
What?
a buzzsaw for a mouth. 250 not far back enough for you? Go back around 300 million years, and you will find Adestus, the f***ing pog shark. And if
What?
that is still not far back enough, you can go all the way back, right to the beginning, to the first recognizable shark, Doliotis problematicus, at 410 million years old.
It looks like a massive trout. This isn't that scary, unless it's the size of like a friggin' whale.
Sharks have existed for 4 times longer than Saturn has had f***ing rings.
What?
The first tree only sprouted out of the ground 385 million years ago. That means that for 25 million years, Groot's great-great-grandfather was sat in God's drafts while this f***er chased Nemo.
Swimming for free out there. What the hell? Is that a kangaroo jumping across the water? No. He's got me before with an April Fool's joke. This is not real.
Okay, so, as the Aussie animal guy, I feel like I might owe you an explanation for this one. That is a normal fucking root.
And it's like shallow water. It's not like doing like Jesus walking on water.
No, he is not
I
Bruce's
love that
Christ.
kangaroo clip.
He's not the second coming, and he's not gonna turn your water into wine. Alright, he might turn it into VB if you ask nice.
Yeah. A bit of
But if
VB
that's
and
the case,
Foster's.
How the f is he stealing the son of God's passive? Well, the answer is fucking sand.
I don't like sand.
Yeah,
you
it's shallow
what's
water.
far more likely than a roo being enchanted with water
Fucking jacked, bro.
walking is that he's actually running on a sandbar. That is basically just a fancy description for ocean currents piling up a shitload of sand into one place.
Yo, that's
Creating
awesome.
An offshore segment of the water that's not much deeper than a fucking kid's pool. Now, roos know about sandbars, and they actually very frequently use them as a shortcut to get from A to B to find
Nice.
So, while it looks like Skippy here is stealing Jesus's
Skippy, yeah. I loved that as a kid.
He's actually on a Macca's mish.
Let me get a...
This pigeon saved an entire army battalion.
Heroes never die.
Introducing our protagonist, Jeremy.
Guys, do you not think it's crazy that as early as like World War One, we were still using, or late as World War One, we were still using pigeons like messengers, and like they were part of the crew as well. Like if that pigeon like died in action, like they recognized that.
A carrier pigeon who was in the employ of the US Army Signal Corps during World War One. You see, back in the oldie times, radio technology was kind of dog shit. So carrier pigeons were still the meta for DMing the homies memes over distance. Which is how, in 1918, our feathered little shock trooper here ended up in France. with 500 US soldiers stuck 3 kilometers behind enemy lines, completely cut off from supply and reinforcement in a 7-day shootout. You see,
Damn.
Jeremy's battalion juiced up on freedom and red crayon
Yeah, this pigeon was on its way to become a fucking eagle, bro.
overextended and become trapped, surrounded on all sides by German soldiers. And to make matters worse, being stuck behind enemy lines meant they were now on the receiving end of US defense spending,
Oh,
being
yeah.
absolutely hammered with friendly artillery. Now, stuck as far away as they would have had more luck using their radio as fucking nunchucks than a comms device. So they began sending out carrier pigeons in an attempt to tell command to stop fucking shelling them and
Yeah.
help on the point. However, the Germans were having none of that shit and shot every single carrier pigeon the battalion
Oh,
sent
damn.
out
Yeah,
of the
that makes
air
sense.
like they were running an AIM Labs warm-up. Until only one remained. Cher Ami. Desperate
Rami, the French pigeon. Gets granted US citizenship.
and rapidly running out of soldiers, the battalion wrote a message and attached it to Cher Ami, sending him into the air and
Go,
watching
bro.
him sail above the trees. And just when they thought he was clear,
No,
some
Rami.
sweat on the German side nailed him. The battalion watched in horror as their last hope spiraled out of the sky. The bullet tore straight through Cherami's center of mass, destroying
Damn.
one eye, punching a hole through his chest, and blowing off one of his legs. And this
Whoa.
giga chat
Still
of
going.
an animal tanked it.
Yeah.
Do you have any ibuprofen? I got a headache.
The Marines watched in awe as this mangled pigeon
Nice.
picked itself out of the mud and managed to fly clear of German fire. Cherami
Nice.
made it the whole way back to base,
What?
delivering the message and saving a total of 194 soldiers.
I hope Jeremy survives.
Not only did he get the job done, but he f***ing lived. He was
Yeah.
granted one of the highest military honors the French
Yeah.
army could provide and sent into retirement with his trainer. And when
Nice.
he eventually did pass several years later, he was preserved and placed in the Smithsonian, where you can go see him today.
Oh, look at him. What a hero.
There he is. Absolute f***ing legend.
Yeah.
This bird is a
We need like one of those TikTok edits that they do where it's like motivational.
vampire. Introducing the vampire groundfinch, native to the Galapagos Islands, and a great example of the horrifying affronts to the universe that evolution can produce when it decides to do a little trolling. Now you see, at first glance, this is the most boring vampire you can possibly imagine. Coming in at a measly 12 centimeters and a mere 20 grams in weight.
Ooh, that's kind of small.
Rocking a feather pattern I can best describe as a Minecraft dirt block, and as it turns out, the bastards that wrote Twilight lied to me because it doesn't even fucking sparkle. So
It
it's
looks
missing
nice, though.
fangs, angst, a cape, and the funny accent.
You must bounce on it.
How does it qualify as a vampire? Simple. Drinks a shitload of blood. You see, most birds eat seeds and insects, and while the vampire finch can eat those too, there is a problem.
Does he kill mice and just drink their blood rather than like eating the meat? Is that what it
They
does?
live on an island, and that island is very small. In fact, they're only found on 2 of the Galapagos Islands.
Oh, damn.
And small islands means a far smaller amount of that food to go around. To the point where these finches can't rely on it as their sole source.
Yeah.
Which for a bird usually isn't a problem, because, you know, they don't need a plane ticket to just f*** off and fly somewhere. However, as the name suggests, the vampire ground finch...
Oh, they can't fly.
for So, how do they get their food? They suck it out of someone that can. This, don't laugh, is the Nazca booby. Hey, stop giggling back there. Another species of bird native to the islands. They are very strong flyers that feed on fish. They also nest on the islands, which is where our feathery Nosferatu comes to play.
How do they do it? Do they walk up in their sleep and like start sucking their blood?
You see, when the boobies... Stop giggling. Come to roost, the vampire finch will sneak over and hop onto their back. Then, using their razor-sharp beak, they will poke a very small, borderline painless hole into one of the bird's flight feathers.
Damn.
Once the blood is flowing freely, the vampire finch gorge themselves on it. See, as it turns out, blood is macro-friendly. And considering these things are living creatures, they just make more blood. In essence, giving the vampire finch an infinite food source.
Yeah, because like it's gonna like heal over for like the seagull or whatever it is. So it's gonna be fine. Like this is
They
weird.
get so much blood from these birds, it is not uncommon to see multiple finches sucking from the same booty.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry, I can't say that shit.
Oh, wait, live streams on Twitch.
This is the world.
Oh no, the spiders.
Doesn't just have snakes and spiders. It has a tiger. Well, kinda. Introducing the thylacine, better
What is that?
known as the Tassie tiger. As the name suggests,
The Torsey Toiger. Oh no, that's an awful Australian accent. I'm sorry.
the home state of Tasmania, this tiny little island off Australia's south coast. No, that is not New Zealand. They have hobbits, not tigers. Oh, tiger isn't entirely correct. You see, the thylacine isn't a cat on steroids. You see, this bad
It's a
boy
cat?
is the largest carnivorous marsupial on the planet.
I thought it was a
Despite
friggin'
kangaroo
hyena.
Coming in at 7 foot tall and throwing kicks like Chun-Li, they are herbivores. And everything else with a pouch that eats meat is about the size of a chihuahua, making this 1.3 meter,
Look at it. I've never seen this animal in my life. Look at it.
kilo kangaroo.
What's that head size compared to the body?
Dog with a tiger persona, the only marsupial apex predator. See, these things were ambush hunters, using stealth and speed to silently take down their prey like they're playing Assassin's Creed. On top of being a fully qualified Spec Ops agent, these things had a mouth on them to rival Kirby.
Yeah, like that head size. It feels like the character creator just went a bit wild.
Capable of opening their jaw a full 80 fucking degrees,
God.
which is absolutely terrifying.
It belongs in Resident Evil. Like in Resident Evil 4 when like the dog's mouth like splits open and like tentacles come out.
Really cool. It's just one small problem. You may have picked up on me talking mostly in the past tense, and that all of this footage is
gone?
in black and white. That's because we don't have a tiger. We had one. Unfortunately, the thylacine was driven to extinction in the late 1980s. By what exactly? The British.
Oh no, is it
When
us?
the Brits, did their thing and decided Tasmania was their house now, actually, they brought with them livestock, namely sheep and cattle, which was a
Yeah, and it's going after all the sheep and cattle, yeah. They probably swallowed the friggin' sheep whole.
tiger, which rapidly added these walking meatballs with the survival instincts of a wet sock to their meal plan. It's free real estate. The colonists did not take kindly to the thylacine taking their livestock without a license.
Oh, you taking our... I can't even do my own accent. Taking our you taking our livestock without a license. There you go.
So they placed bounties
Bottle of
on
water.
their heads. Never mind that these things never attacked humans and very rarely
really?
took their livestock. No, they were an inconvenience.
Yeah.
And so they were hunted down, one by one by one.
Meanwhile, last week I was talking about the emus that were just haunting the American countryside, the Australian countryside.
Fucking years. Until September 7th, 1936, when the last thylacine, Benjamin, died cold and alone in a cage at the Hobart Zoo. Usually,
poor
I
thing.
end these with a joke, but the fact that we wiped his entire bloodline and turned him into a fucking rug isn't that funny.
Yeah, that
There is
sucks.
a competition in America where they vote on the fattest bear.
What?
That's right, lads.
It's not a human in the end, is it? I believe all those women kept choosing the bear, so...
The Super Bowl. I'm about to introduce you to the most important American sporting event of the year, Fat Bear Week.
How does a bear
Hosted
get
by
that
the
fat?
Katmai National Park and Preserve in Alaska every year from the 23rd to the 30th of September. The public watches as Winnie and Paddington fight it out to see who is the most absolute
Tekken?
of units. And this year's highest calorie Kumamane has been crowned. But
Oh?
before that, how the f does Fat Bear Week work?
How do they... Is this a bear robbing McDonald's? Do you remember that story years and years ago? A bear found a stash of cocaine. This sounds like I'm making it up. I'll post the article like above. A bear found some cocaine and he went on an absolute spree as a result because obviously he got coked out of his mind and he went absolutely bananas.
Simple. See, the event is held in the lead up to hibernation season, while all of these bears are at the peak of their bulk. Now, while it's running, the park allows the public to view live stream footage from all of their trail cams. These cameras capture all the park's brown bears, allowing us to observe Freddy's fat-ass cousins like we just got a job at f***ing Fazbear Entertainment. Each bear caught on camera is assigned a number and occasionally a name. We, the people, then vote on the contestants day by day, pitting them against one another in a fucking single elimination tournament bracket, determining with our votes which bear most closely resembles a pyro commission until one bear is crowned the victor. Now, you may think this is just some silly little event, but no, over the years,
people place bets and I take this like super seriously. Do the votes take place in a mega stadium?
There has been fucking voter fraud, a manhunt for a missing hiker, and one year the trail cams caught one contestant beating to death and eating another bear.
That makes sense.
To answer the question you've all been waiting for, the winner of the 2025 Fat Bear
Let's see
Week
this chonker.
is 32 Chunk. Winning with a broken jaw. They named that f***er after the render distance you need to load in his entire body at once.
Link in the description for all the videos, guys. This is really fun. I enjoy doing more pads. He's got really good videos. The accent makes it as well. Reminds me so much of Steve Irwin. My Australian accent kind of sucks though. It's not too bad. I can do like, that's not a knife. And after that, it just falls apart. But yeah, links in the description, guys. Don't forget that I live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I shall catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.